We are having technical difficulties. Gonzo will figure this out, and we will be right back.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. Chris Gonzalez joined by Jay McLevin. How's it going, Jay?
Going well, man. Thank you for having me, Gonzo.
Also joined by Frankie C. How's it going, Frankie?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing really good, Gonzo. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Oh, man, opening day tomorrow. I'm so excited.
You should have done this tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow afternoon. It'd be like, it's today.
And we're also joined by Pride. How's it going, Pride?
I'm chilling, bro. You know me. Can't wait, bro. I'm about to be toxic. I need to find a victim. Mike, day 3, you down? Maybe Matt talking to you. Day 3, you be down? Nah, we need to get Tony in here, Mike. Me and you, we got to get Tony in here, bro, because we got to jump him, bro, because he sold us out last night. And
Tony Snapchatted me last night, too, which made me more mad.
No, he didn't.
No, he did. I swear to God.
Yeah, I got to talk to his manager.
It was like 12 in the morning. I was like, "Are you fucking me?"
Are you fucking me?
Gonzo, look at it. Gonzo, look at it.
Yo, this is crazy. Yo, Mike, speak some Puerto Rican.
Me gusta la chucha de Puerto Rico.
Oh wow.
Ayúdame, mi corazón.
What are you guys looking forward most to opening day tomorrow?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Honestly, I'm ready for the Yankees to smack these San Francisco Giants for trying to get Aaron Judge. And what Aaron Judge is going to do is show him off why he's the AL home run king. Yeah.
I'm gonna be at work at Wrigley, and I hope I get to see Dansby. That's my honest answer. But if I talk to Dansby, I get fired. But you all know I'm gonna talk to Dan. I'm gonna get a picture. Matter of fact, if I'm going out strong.
So if you talk to any of the players, you get fired.
Yeah, but one time David Ortiz and Frank Thomas walked up to me and asked me where the bathroom was, and I came. But yeah.
I can't.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Nah, you want to know what I'm really excited for tomorrow?
He was like, "Hey, puppy, you know what a bathroom is?" And I was like, "Ah." Then they walked away.
You know what I'm really excited for? And I'm going to start it off. I'm really excited for the Houston Astros to get a loss tomorrow. Yeah, I said it, Jay. I said it. I can't wait for the Houston Astros to lose to the White Sox. It's going to put a smile on my face.
Jay McLovin, do they have the ring ceremony tomorrow, or is that a different day? I think he froze.
Wait, is it an actual ceremony? Like not
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine they'd have to have some sort of ceremony, right? And then would they do rings before they get the season gets kicked off? So I would imagine there'd be some sort of ceremony.
Yeah, I just didn't. Usually, it's the first home game, if I'm not mistaken, because I was there for the Cubs' ring ceremony in 2016, but they only do it if you're at home.
Yeah, I think we are I believe we're at home.
Yeah, you are home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're at home. So yeah, I would imagine they would have the ring ceremony that first pitch out opening night.
Ring and banner.
On one side of the jersey, they're gonna have their rings, and on the other side, they're gonna have their buzzers. It's gonna be the awesomest thing you'll ever see in your life.
The buzzers. Yeah.
Yo, that's really, it's really not funny. But
it's not funny because the Red Sox do the same thing, right?
No. You can't even say. You can't even. No. You can't even say. No. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can't even say we did because we didn't even do it successfully. Like we cheated and we're still losing. So I mean, you can't even say we did it right because, like, yeah, we cheated, but like we got nothing to show for it, and like we got caught immediately after and was like doo-doo while we was cheating. Like, how we know the answer is still for the test? Like, what are we doing? We need, bro. Give us buzzers this year, bro, and we finish in 4th in the AL East, bro. That's how fucked we are right now.
Yeah, that's a bad look right now for y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you, but hey,
we hit. I just want to see that I forgot his name, the dude who was on Team Japan, the one that we signed. I just want to see him.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, I just want to see him. That's it.
Hey,
and Devers because he stayed.
Chris, are you excited for baseball?
No, Chris hasn't been excited for baseball since 1942.
What the fuck?
1942. We've been good since then, but yeah, I'm excited for it. Other than Votto starting out in the damn IL already, but
no shock.
Hey, I'm on the same path with you.
And I'm just interested to see how our young pitching looks.
Nah, Rodon's starting on the IL.
Oh, who gives a fuck?
I do.
I do. Montas.
Who cares about him?
You do. You said he was the big Frank in the city.
No.
No.
I was about to say, yeah, nah. Last year you was blowing him big time.
You was
I wasn't.
I'm gonna be honest. Last year you was blowing him big time, bro.
Jay's my witness. Jay, was I hype about Frankie Montas coming to the Yankees? What was No, I
Well,
wasn't.
Yes,
you were not hyped because Frankie they
you
took
was
your
blowing big
moniker
time.
away from you.
Exactly. Once
You
once I
was blowing big time.
seen the name Frankie came to the Yankees, I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna take my name. Watch, his name is gonna be on the Post tomorrow. And what did I do? I took a picture of the New York Post and I said, this motherfucker really took my name.
he better
I
than
don't
you,
know,
dog.
man.
You're bugging.
Well, in all due
I
respect,
think so.
unless you had that name trademarked, it really was nobody's name, truthfully. You got to have a
eating, Jay?
trademark.
What you eating, Jay? What you
Philly
snacking?
cheese, corn fritters, man.
Chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers. I love chicken fingers.
I love a good chicken finger,
Bro.
especially when it comes to KFC.
I was on Jay's show yesterday before we get into it. Jay asked me a question and I answered it. Then I muted my mic because my stomach hurt and I thought I had to fart. Bro, I got food poisoning, bro. Right after I ditched, I was gone, bro. I had an Italian beef and the Italians let me down. That shit was fucking, that was white on white
Sensational.
crime, bro.
I don't
Sensational.
understand. Aren't you Italian?
Yeah.
How did you not know what Italian sub was good or not good?
I mean, it doesn't fucking have a fucking piece of paper on it that says this is food poisoning.
Mike's Italian and he said fuck Team Italy during the WBC.
They fucking suck. They fucking blow. It's awful. I'd rather them
Question,
go out
Mike.
in the middle of the
Hey,
fucking...
Mike, the question is, did you get the Italian sub a few minutes prior to closing, or was it during the middle of their day?
About 5 o'clock.
Oh, he got some type of sub. Extra mayo.
Well, because if you get it prior to closing, that means they had to pass and put it together. They probably didn't cook it all the way. That's why you got sick.
This man had the nerve to say extra mayo. I just dropped that like no one heard. Yo.
He got some type of sub, Jay. Extra mayo on that shit. Ah,
Yo.
broken ankle.
Sensational, bro. Holy shit.
All right, let's get
Oh,
on track
God.
here. Let's get on track here. Go ahead, Chris.
No, they're saying that during spring training, this pitch clock took 26 minutes off the game. Do you think we'll see about the same in the regular season, or do you think maybe it could be even a little bit more than 26 minutes?
I think it's
I mean,
stupid.
What's stupid?
The entire thing.
Oh my God! Here we go. Here we
Sound
go.
like-
Here we go. Mike, how old are you, Mike? How old are you?
23, sir.
All right, so stop acting like you're 83, you freaking old ass. Leave the game how it should have been, head ass, bro.
That's not what I
Outta
was
here,
saying,
bro.
That's not what I was saying at all. I just
All right,
think,
so let me hear the bullshit. Let me hear it.
all right. You want me to break it down? You want me to break
All right,
it
you're
down?
wrong. You're wrong. Stupid as shit.
Jay McLovin, take off your hat. Now rub your hair as I speak. Yeah, I like that shit. Anyway, so that's what I was saying. My issue is maybe if we didn't have 5-minute commercials every fucking inning, then maybe that would take off some time. But we don't.
The hell just happened?
But yo, Mike lost it.
I think Mike's mic censored himself.
He got tight. He got hot.
I think Mike's mic censored his speech.
He literally got up to walk back and forth in his room to just say that because that's how upset he is.
What happened?
Like, got him like
There
he's
it is.
5
I
minutes.
can answer to your question now,
minutes
Gonzo. I think
commercial.
30 minutes will probably be, I think 26 to 30 minutes, that'll probably be the average shave off time. Depending on if it goes into overtime, of course, then that'll obviously extend. But I think 30 minutes, 26, 30 minutes, that'd probably be a good amount of time to shave off.
Then again, wasn't this supposed to happen? I mean, this is the reason why they brought it into the MLB. They've been saying games are taking too long.
Oh, gotta take the kids in the Magic School Bus.
Yeah, thank
So,
God.
like,
That was
I
good.
I mean, this was technically supposed to happen. This was the reason why they brought it into the MLB was to lower the time schedule for baseball. I mean, I liked it going into 3 hours. I mean, I wouldn't, I love sitting here watching baseball for 3 hours. I don't care. I don't want to freaking watch it for 2.5 or anything lower because then I'm gonna have to hand the remote off to my wife, and then she's gonna end up putting on some freaking what do you call it, Housewives of Beverly Hills or some stupid shit. I had to sit here watching The Bachelor on Monday. I'm like, no. I'm gonna watch Monday Night Raw. The hell with that shit. WrestleMania week.
But Frankie, you know what I think could be the hindrance to them shaving time off is especially with at least in the first month. Maybe they get it right after the first month. But I think that first month of it, actually, you're going to see a lot of time wasted with managers probably arguing whether or not, the time expired or replay to view it. Or, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be something that can drag it on further than what it needs to be. So, I mean, how many times are they going to have to stop and have confrontations because of a call an ump made about the timer or whatever the case may be, or a shift, maybe the dude's feet was on. I mean, for all the money, for all the time that they're saving by that clock, I think they make it back with all the BS that's going to go on in between the calls.
I feel that it's going to be more challenging for those players that went off to play in the WBC because those rule changes haven't changed for the World Baseball Classics, and them being away for basically nearly almost a month of spring training. I feel like it's gonna, they have to come back in really late, right before the season start, and they have to adjust to those stuff as well. Pitchers, even the infielders that with the shift change, outfielders as well. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit tough on those players, mostly for the first month, I believe. But I see your point. I mean, I can agree with you that stopping the clock for a timeout or something, it's gonna add on to it. What's gonna happen with the challenges are still available too? Like, can the managers still call out challenges like during these games? Because I don't know if the challenges are still available because of the pitch clock.
I believe that they're still available. I don't know if they changed like how many you get or anything like that.
It used to be 2, right? You get 2 challenges, or is it 1?
For
I
some
think
reason,
basketball. I think basketball is 1, baseball's 2, and football's 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but
I'll have to look that up. I think it's 2.
Hey, can I ask a question, Gonzo?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
If you guys were to make a minor league baseball team, what would you name it? You want to hear mine, Gonzo?
Oh god, here we go.
Sure.
Well, the hat is really cool because it's just 2 W's, but like in cursive, and then the mascot is just a big sausage.
Oh my god, here we go.
They're the wiener whackers, bro.
Yep.
And then every time there's a home run, everybody in the stands, everybody in the stands has to whack their wiener.
Oh my god.
And everybody's giving it a little inflatable sausage to whack every time there's a home run.
And then when you go to the concession stand, instead of saying, "Excuse me, sir, can I have a hot dog?" No, you gotta have to go up there and say, "Can I have a wiener?"
You gotta say, do I want a large wiener or do I want a small wiener? There's only 2 sizes.
Can I get a large wiener with extra ketchup?
Extra ketchup.
You know what I love about this show?
Wieners?
You don't hear nothing like this on First Take.
Nope.
I would love to hear Stephen A. talk about some wiener whackers.
Man, you can check this other show out. It's a ghost hunting show on the ASAP network now. You can hear all types of shit about wiener whacking.
Is that the one? That's the one that had the Ouija board, right?
Yeah, they hate gay and black people. They confirmed it.
Oh
my god.
Frankie was there.
Mm-hmm.
Trash.
Yeah, I was there, but Mike is just real enough to say it live.
Oh hell yeah! If y'all watching this and y'all from that place, wherever y'all came from, never come back, please. I hope y'all. You know what? I ain't gonna say that because that's rude.
I don't know what that was. I saw it and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I just turned it off. I didn't even watch it.
Bro was talking about where his dad used to touch him. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I feel like Chris and Tony was watching that together.
Oh god.
Oh, dude, Pops got scared. He jumped in Chris's lap.
And then Chris made a big groin noise because he hurt his back.
Gonzo said, "Ruh-roh." Gonzo, what's your team, bro?
I don't know. I got to think about that for a while to come up with a name.
They like the Pussy Pandas or something.
Oh Lord.
Oh, no,
Lord.
I got one for Jay. You know what you could do, Jay?
What's that?
You could call them the VJJs. And they're like jays. They're like birds.
Maybe I'll have a little diagram of a taco on my hat. Be all good.
I'm going to start watching First Take. Well, go ahead, Pops. Go ahead and do that.
Well, it's gonna be a rerun because they're not live right now, sir.
Yeah, you don't even know your cards. Be better than that.
Oh,
Well, alhamdulillah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's your pop. That's your pops, Chris. He making you look bad.
you guys think what surprise teams are you guys looking for the major league season this year? Maybe a team that
Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. With Chicago Cubs, and I've been saying this to Mike for a while now. The Chicago Cubs have been adding a lot of good pieces that they needed to fill, and I feel like they got the right pieces. But it's just let's just go and see how the pitching going and the bullpen goes. Other than that, I feel like the Chicago Cubs has really good pieces around them to be successful.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Rob.
Oh my God, why is Rob here? This is a baseball day. He doesn't talk baseball.
No, now he's gonna leave. Don't do this. Oh, Rob,
Go
don't
White
leave.
Sox. Go White Sox.
All right, get the fuck out of here, Rob.
Hey, don't say go White Sox because you say go White Sox, Jay's gonna come at you because Jay's first target is the White Sox.
Jose Abreu left to go to the Astros because he hates the White Sox. That's confirmed.
I do like the fact that our first game is against the White Sox's former team. I thought that was a pretty good way to start off
Oh
the
yeah,
season.
I do. There's a lot of good matchups. I think, especially with the Judge and the Giants thing, like Frankie was talking about.
Oh, that's
really
crazy.
I'm really what really upsets me about that one, Mike, is Carlos Rodon being on the injured list and starting it off. He was supposed to be there for game
Yeah, that would have
two
been
to face
sick.
It would have been much better, and I feel like that's why the first game of opening day for everybody is basically you're facing off a person like a team where you took those persons, like Jay said. They took Abreu from the White Sox. We took Rodon from the Giants. Who the Cubs are playing?
I think we're playing Milwaukee.
Oh,
Man.
I don't know.
But it would have been
Hey,
really.
I'll tell you what though. You know what would have been great is if Minnesota could have had an opening game against the Mets and Carlos Correa goes for a grand slam or the cycle. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah, it would have been something weird. But I mean, I think
That would have been crazy.
my one I wanted to see was the Cubs versus the Cardinals on opening day, just because of Wilson Contreras. But I think that would have been really cool. Me and Randy would have definitely been beefing. But Chris, for me, and I love Frankie because it's actually a hot take because the Cubs could either be really good or really bad. It's kind of like you really don't know. And I think one that's kind of not a hot take, but it's one I really want to see them take that leap to like a real World Series contender. I think the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are really going to be that kind of team this year to say, they kind of looked like shit during the playoffs. They looked awful, and Seattle really had their number. And I think that
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Fucking say the Blue Jays. I give you props for the Cubs, and you come out saying the Blue Jays.
I'm just
What the hell is
saying,
wrong
like,
with you?
I look at that roster, bro, and Frankie's never lied about it either. Like they are, and Jay hasn't either, even being in the AL. Like they're stacked. Like they are stupid stacked, and they just underperform every single year. And I think that's one of those seasons that they're gonna have to have right now. If I'm them and they underperform again, I'm talking like if you don't go to the ALCS this year as the Toronto Blue Jays, you're failing as an organization because Kirk, Vladdy, Bo Bichette, George Springer, the great pitching rotation they have, and just to get bounced by Seattle, who was really young at the time. I mean, it's kind of do or die for me right now if I'm the Blue Jays because you need to start making some noise before you have to start paying these guys.
Well, I can go on and say like I don't want to be a full bias on the Yankee. Like everybody knows I'm a diehard Yankee fan and stuff, and my rivalry is the Blue Jays. And I know what I just said to Mike is, that's just the Yankee out of me talking. But last year I did say that the Blue Jays, they did look, competitive. The only thing that hurted them last year was exactly that. They were injured. They were hurt last year. And I feel like because of them being hurt for a long stretch, not just a short period of time in the season, it was a long stretch, kind of like from the beginning or mid to the season to like mid to late to the season. That's how it was for them. Then they started to get healthy around September. But it just didn't click for like Mike said, it didn't click for them well in the playoffs going against a young, hungry Seattle team in the playoffs last year. This year they can make a splash and they can do something, but the only thing they're going to do, Mike, is go to the playoffs in the wild card and lose in the wild card.
Oof. Nah, but I do think, and to your point, I think the worst part of them is their bullpen. I think that bullpen is like atrociously bad. I don't know if they've made any additions this year or if they have anybody coming up, but they were like awful. I was watching them throughout the entire playoffs, and I knew if Gossman wasn't going to have it that day, that they were going to lose that game.
Well, if it's one person that loves to talk about bullpens, that's Jay McLovin. He'd stay be talking about my bullpen. Jay, do you agree with Mike on the bullpen for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of you guys got bullpen issues, honestly, and that's just a fact.
Hey, this is about the Blue Jays.
Oh, the Blue Jays. I mean, I agree with what Mike said. The first part, I felt like this is a stacked roster. They have underperformed, and yes, that bullpen for the Toronto Blue Jays is an issue. But we'll see what happens this spring. I mean, or I should say this season. I gotta be honest with you, Frankie, man. I just like we're gonna have our hands filled with Seattle, you're gonna have your hands filled with Toronto. I really believe both of us are gonna have our hands full. But at the end of the day, I still believe that it's gonna be Houston and New York in the ALCS.
Do you think
This is what I hope.
Hey, Jay, get ready to hold this L from the White Sox.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, was that the White Sox or the Black Sox? Because they used to be called the Black Sox.
What you mean by that? What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
What you trying to say, Jay? What you trying to say, Jay?
I'm trying to say that when Shoeless Joe Jackson played for the White Sox, they cheated.
Listen. They
never called the Black Sox.
Hey, guess what?
That
You can't mention nothing about cheating.
I didn't say I couldn't, but even after we righted the ship.
This is coming from someone who don't even watch baseball.
You know what happened?
Even after we righted the ship, we got another one. So what you saying about that?
Didn't you hear what Houston's name was after 2017? The Buzzer Bitches.
Oh my God.
No, they were the Houston ass trolls.
Hey, don't be taking my shit.
The Houston
don't be taking my
Asterisks.
shit. That's my shit right there.
Hold on, Rob Scott.
You
literally,
started
bro.
It. No, don't come
literally.
You
Rob
started
Scott. The only reason you know anything at all about baseball is because what Frankie C or maybe Mike Hughes draws diagrams and tries to explain the game.
Because he's black.
Guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I learned it. Just know that I learned it.
Why? Because
really? You learned it? What exactly have you learned? Please do pray tell.
What are you saying?
I learned that deep down in your heart that you're afraid of the Yankees.
Woo! Yo, let me get away. Hold on. I gotta mute myself. Hold up. Rob, I love you. Nah, bring him back.
We'll bring it back in when the conversation has relevant matter.
Rob's back.
No, he gets respect. He gets respect
Why
for that.
Kick him out?
Why? Why does he get respect? Because he sides towards your position. That's why he gets respect. This dude can't even spell baseball, and yet you're okay. That's fine.
Hold on, Rob. I got you, baby.
Listen,
hey, it's 2023. It's 2023.
Listen. You're talking about a guy that was watching a game of cricket and thought it was baseball.
You're telling me that Rob can't watch baseball and can't spell baseball because he's black? You're canceled, Jamie.
I never said that. You said that. I didn't say it. You said it.
You implied it. Canceled. Get him out of
here. I implied his lack of knowledge of baseball. I just simply said that he went to a cricket match thinking he was watching baseball, and then they came out and found out it was cricket.
I just want you to know.
You hate the movie 42.
He didn't imply nothing good to my team or nothing like that. He's not on my side or not. All he said was, deep down inside, he knows you're scared of the Yankees. That's all. That's why.
He just did that because he didn't know that you were a Yankees fan and I was an Astros fan. Otherwise, he would have known better.
Are you kidding me?
He didn't know. Bro, Rob Scott didn't know. It's not his fault. Rob Scott didn't know. Just like he was at a cricket game, he didn't know.
How I didn't know when Frankie's whole name is Frankie the Yankee.
And that's not because
everybody in the North is called Yankees.
And Jay, we know you talk about Texas teams. You talk about Texas teams so much that we shouldn't even call it the afternoon blitz. We should call it the Texas Showdown.
Hey, listen, it's only the Texas Showdown because Frankie, Mike, and whoever else is always coming at the Astros. You know you're the best. Hey, you know you're the best when everybody comes at you because everybody wants to take down the champ.
You know your ass when you wear a buzzer.
But I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? I mean,
Look at him talk. I can't hear him.
Jay, what happened to your mic?
What happened to your mic, Jay? Jason?
Jay
He
McLovin?
froze.
I think he
He
froze.
froze.
That's a beautiful face
Hold
to
on,
freeze
wait. I'm
to.
waiting for him to blink. Yeah, no, he's all right. What a weirdo.
No, hey, my cat ate my damn cord, so I've got to go after the show's over with. I got to go down to Best Buy and go buy another damn cord. I tell you what, I hate my
Okay.
cat.
I feel like
Damn
you were
cat.
really in that position.
Bro, my cat eats so many damn cords. It's like I almost want to call the damn cat Frankie because it just irritates the piss out of me. But I love Frankie, so it is what it is. Rob coming with heat. Yeah, Rob coming in a little bit today.
He said the black community froze. Oh my god.
Man, y'all coming at me pretty hard today.
Nah, Jay, I love you.
I just
You know
woke
why?
up.
You know why? Because baseball starts tomorrow, and you're the
It
defending
does
champ.
start tomorrow, man. But Frankie, I want you to understand something because I know this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, God forbid, maybe it happens, maybe it does, but if we start off in the last place like we did last year, Frankie going to be all up in my DMs, private messaging me on shows, throwing trash. I just want you to know, man, just because however the season starts out, just know that the end product is always the World Series. Just know that, Frankie. Let me just put that out there right now. The end product is always the World Series.
Well, let me tell you this. If you start off at the bottom, you better hope that the Seattle Mariners don't get into a good roll because they're not going to let you take the first spot again.
Yeah, I think Seattle's going to be better this year. I think the Cleveland Guardians are going to be better this year. They were one of the youngest teams last year. Started to put it together, especially toward the end of the season. I think they're
yeah, Cleveland is a really good team, especially as young as they are. And you know what? Who also people might be thinking about is the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are another young team that honestly, they're a young core, but I think as they mature, I think eventually the Diamondbacks will start making a name for themselves. So watch out for the Diamondbacks.
I really like that the Cleveland Guardians added Josh Bell. I felt like that was the kind of the veteran leadership that they kind of needed, and that's a guy. I mean, that's a guy. To me, I wanted Josh Bell on the Cubs.
I like that Josh Bell move too.
I wanted Josh Bell on the Cubs really bad.
I thought the Padres should have held on to Josh Bell. I don't know why they let him go. I would have held on to him.
Well, they just decided they wanted to pay Xander Bogaerts $300 million. So I think that was kind of what went into that.
Well, probably. And it's crazy to me because you already have a shortstop, but then you bring Xander Bogaerts in. I don't understand that a little bit either. Because now you got to put Tatis out into the outfield. Not that he can't play outfield, but
I mean Tatis is really good in the outfield. Tatis is really good in the outfield. Like he's crazy good, and I think that's something they just wanted to prepare for because Tatis has never really had a fully healthy season or just a full season in general, from the steroid thing to everything else that goes into it. So this is kind of just their solidified guy. They know he's going to be healthy. They know he's going to be there, and I think they still have the minor league teams and they have the amount of prospects to bring somebody up in the outfield if someone like Tatis goes down. So, I mean, he's not going to replace Tatis, but it's definitely better than what they have at shortstop because they traded Buddy to I forgot what dude's name was, Gonzo, but they traded him to Washington. They had that solid ass shortstop, but they traded him away. But I think it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
Talking about Tatis, I want to ask you guys this real quick.
Hold on, Frankie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. I said it before you start saying your thing. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, we know that Tatis, was caught doing the steroids and stuff like that. Is the world gonna look at him kind of like a Barry Bonds, or Alex Rodriguez type of player now? Are they just gonna look at him, and when he gets his home runs, are they gonna look at him and be like, well, that's because he's on steroids?
I don't know. I think you gotta have to wait and feel that one out. I think it could be more like a Ryan Bond kind of thing, where players are still going to like him and teams are still going to like him, but you're always going to kind of look at that and wonder if that has any effect.
I think it depends.
I'm just curious. Hey, Frank, I'm sorry, Gonzo, go ahead.
I think it depends on what kind of season he has. If he comes out and hits 55, 60 home runs this season, I think you'll hear more people on him about it. But if his numbers are pretty close to what they were a couple years ago, I don't think you'll hear too much about it.
But bro, it was just a cream, bro.
Hey, question, Frankie. So, I know we're talking about injuries. I know, obviously, we talked about Montero and on my team, and a few of the guys that honestly are still kind of battling back. Michael Brantley, I think, Hopefully he'll be making his debut. He's still kind of iffy on his debut. Hopefully he gets his debut in there, but we'll see. But on your team, I'm just more concerned about, and again, this is early in the season. I mean, you had conversations about this with Severino now on the DL or the IL, and then you got Rodon on the IL, and then you got another guy on the coming on the IL. But you got 2 years. Montas. That's what I was thinking of. Montas. So, but Garrett Cole, Cortez, Herman. I mean, those guys are still in good shape. How do you feel like I know these guys are going to come back because I don't think there are serious injuries to either one of those two guys. But at the same time, do you think that this could be a problematic issue once you get closer to the All-Star break or when you come out of the All-Star break, getting ready for the playoffs? How do you see these injuries resurfacing themselves?
I don't think so, honestly, because even Rodon has said it that last year, late in the season with the Giants, he was feeling this pain in his forearm, and he was actually telling the training staff in San Francisco about his arm, and they didn't care. They just kept having him go out there and throw out there and stuff like that because they were in that little race, that little 3-tie race with the Dodgers and the Padres to try and get to that lead. So I mean that's why they and then him coming to the Yankees, literally his first game in spring training, he felt that little I don't know if it was like a crack or even like a little hurt in the forearm, and he quickly told Aaron Boone, and Aaron Boone was smart enough to just take him out and say, okay, we're just gonna have you out for a little bit. They did it at a good time, Jay, because if they would have did it late into the spring training, I feel like he would have had taken a longer time out of during regular season. But now that they looked at it and they did it like the very start of spring training, literally, like I said, the second game, that's when he pitched. It made it seem to where he can actually come back sometime in April. Like hopefully
Right.
mid-April, even late April. And I don't feel like this injury is going to catch up to him during All-Star or anything like that. Luis Severino, I feel like the same way with him. Luis Severino, he just has like a little minor injury. It's nothing serious, but having these pitchers you can be your best, your best 1-2-3 punch basically. You want to be safe with them, and it's something about the Yankees that we never start off the season injured. We always end the season injured. So at this point in time, I think Aaron Boone is finally looking and realizing, well, okay, we're not gonna continue with you out there pitching. We want you to get healthy because we're going to need you towards the end of the season, not in the beginning. The beginning of the season matters nothing. We all know as baseball fans, we all know the most important time in baseball is after the All-Star break. Luis Severino is not going to last that long out in the injury report. I feel like he's going to come back sometime in mid-April as well, or late April, probably even early May. Who knows? But as long as they come back 100% and okay, I feel real confident with the Yankees going later in the season, being healthy. I feel like the one person that worries me much late into the season is going to be Giancarlo Stanton. I feel like if Giancarlo Stanton, because in the beginning of the season last year, he was phenomenal. He was amazing. The man was hitting at a high level. He was hitting home runs. He was getting on base. But it was like literally right after the All-Star break, the man wins the MVP in the All-Star break. He wins the MVP in All-Star, and then he gets hurt. So it's like that's the one person that worries me. The same with Aaron Judge. He had a phenomenal year last year. The man finally stood healthy. We all seen what he could do with staying healthy. But can he continue that route? The man just signed a 9-year contract. You never know with Aaron Judge. So I'm praying and hoping that the man, just like I did last year, I'm praying and hoping that he stays healthy again this year. Because if all these men can stay healthy, I feel like we'll be okay. We'll be good.
Yeah, I was looking at. I know you're talking. I was looking at some of the injuries I had, and I'm looking at the injury report. I don't see Montero anywhere on the Astros injury report. I see Altuve's on there, and I feel like if Altuve was on there, then Montero would be on there. And there's nowhere can I find anything on Montero being injured or missing anything this season. So as far as I'm concerned, unless y'all know something more than I know, or something more than ESPN knows, or I think he's still playing. I think he's good. Because he's nowhere on their injuries. He's anywhere designated anywhere on there at all that he's injured. So I think Montero's good. Unless y'all know something I don't know. I see Montero. Now, I know McCullers is on the 60-day list. I know Hunter Brown is day-to-day. Michael Brantley is going to make his debut, they say, in mid-April. And then Jose Altuve is on a 60-day. So I would imagine the first 2 months we won't have Altuve and we won't have McCullers. But I think after that 2 months, I think the Astros, unless barring any other crazy injuries, we should be fully healthy in 2 months. And I would say fully healthy. I mean, there's only really two guys out there. I think the Astros will be fine without Altuve. I think we'll be, but it's not going to hurt us too bad. And I don't think having Michael Brantley until mid-April or even having McCullers because, our rotation is pretty deep. So, I mean, hey, I know Seattle. I am worried about Seattle to an extent because they have improved that team greatly. And I have seen some reports out there where Toronto's looking really good. I fully expect, that the Yankees will have their hands full, but I fully expect them to make the ALCS. I fully expect the Astros to have their hands completely filled because we also got Texas that upgraded their starting rotation, and they also had a really good offense. So I expect Texas to be something to take into consideration. But at the end of the day, man, I still believe in our veteran leadership, our World Series experience. All of our guys are back. Our full rotation is back. I mean, I don't really see why we're not repeating or not why we're at the very least we're not in the ALCS. Guardians, like Gonzo had mentioned, young team, talented as all hell. I fully expect the Guardians at some point to maybe not this season, but in future seasons to take that next level step. But they are if you look at the Guardians division, I mean, it's weak as hell. Minnesota's probably the next one underneath them. But it's really the Guardians division to run. So I fully expect the Guardians in the playoffs. How far they go, we'll see. But I do see the Guardians, like Gonzo said, as an up-and-coming team.
I love, and Chris, please back me up on this. I love, and I'm not trying to attack you, Jay, but I just love the fact that last year we tried telling you that the Houston Astros always win the division because your division is so weak. And you got the nerve right now to say that the Cleveland Guardians division is weak.
It is weak.
But when we come at you, outside
the Guardians, you tell me one team that really has you
I agree.
quote unquote thinking that they're going to get into the playoffs.
Listen, I totally agree with you. Their division is weak. All I'm saying is it's just funny to me because when we come at you and say, well, the Houston Astros division is so weak, that's why you guys always win. You try and defend your division and try and say something, but like, when we
I don't think our division's totally ever been weak. I think Seattle has not always been, the top echelon, but I think Seattle has always kind of had a decent team. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And which is another reason why I like the fact, and I think everybody likes the fact that you're not just playing teams in your division. You're playing every single baseball team in the league.
Yeah.
So I really think that is going to.
How big of an effect do you think that's going to have on teams' records, maybe trying to get to the playoffs and stuff? Now that you're going to be playing some teams that you in the past.
I think it's going to have a big effect. I think it will have an effect, absolutely, because. I think it's going to affect it both positively and negatively, or not negative. I mean, think about it like this: you play everybody. You play everybody in your division. Your division. Nobody knows your team better than your division, right? So when you start going to play teams, let's say we go out and play the Giants or Milwaukee Brewers, from the Astros. They're not going to know some of our younger, spring training upgrades in the pitching rotation or our pitching rotation in general as much as we know there. So I think there could be some wrinkles there. I think it's good for baseball. I think it's going to have advantages and disadvantages.
You play every team like 3 times? Like, is it a 3-game series or how do they do? You know how that is?
It's gonna be some teams it's gonna be a 4-game series. Most series are gonna be 2-game series now. So we're starting.
That makes sense though, because how would you play every single team if you had 3 or 4 game series?
Exactly. Which also and with the division, instead of playing them, I think it's like 8 times or something like that. They're lowering it down. I don't know if it's like 8 or 12 or something like that, but they're cutting it in half. So
I think it used to be 8. Now you play them 4.
Yeah. So those division games that you're supposed to actually be playing is getting filled up with teams that from around the league. But it's the 2-game series now. That's going to shorten things. Like we start off the season against the Giants, it's only 2 games. Then we go on and we play another team for about another 2 games. Then after that, we probably play a team for 3-game series. I know against the Astros, when we play the Astros in July, it's going to start off, I think, in a 2-game series. But then we play them again later, I think in like August or something like that. It converts into a 4-game series.
I see a lot of those 2-game series being more interleague type series. You know what I mean? I think maybe more the 3 and 4 game series would be in the AL, in the NL, but I see a lot of those inter scrimmage games. I see a lot of those being the 2-game series. I don't know how y'all look at that, or I don't know if you've seen the schedule as much as I have.
Probably how it is, because I think the Reds open up with the Pirates. And if I remember correctly, that's a 4-game series, but that's in our division. So that could be how they're.
Yeah, so if you're playing them, if that's your division rival and you're playing them in a 4-game series, that means later on when you play them again, it's probably more likely going to be a 2-game series.
Hey, Glenn, I do find that to be kind of funny, but again, and I don't know who your NCAA team is. Why don't you put that in the comments? Just let me know who your NCAA, because honestly, I don't know who your team is. Well, it must be Attack Houston Day. It's in the comments.
What did he say? I'm away from my
No, he said, hey, where you of H gonna be at this weekend? I bet you wish you was playing at home.
If I remember correctly, Glenn's an IU fan like me, so we're at home as well. But
then why Glenn over there talking shit?
He's probably talking about the Astros because baseball starts.
No, he's talking about. He said you of Houston, University of Houston.
Oh, I don't know. I love Glenn though. If you're gonna attack Jay for,
oh no, I love Glenn too. But Glenn, you be talking some shit over there, and you over there sitting the same place I'm sitting.
I think he was giving you shit because we were both were telling you that Miami was going to give Houston or beat Houston.
Oh yeah, probably. It's all good. Hey, listen. Hey, we at the same place you are, right there on the couch.
And I never heard Jay say that before.
It's a new Jay. New day.
It's a new Jay. He wouldn't say that for the Cowboys though. All he'll say was, "See, I told you though. I told you this was gonna happen because Dak Prescott." So I never heard Jay before say, "We're right there with you on the couch."
Hey, that's because Jay had to say that too often, but yeah, hey, we right there with you. Hey, look, I got my popcorn, I got my candy, I got my snacks, my beverages. Oh yeah, we ready to go.
He won't even say that for the Rockets because he already know how bad the Rockets are.
Man, listen.
Just tell you they're in rebuild mode. That's all.
Hey, listen, I told the cable company, listen, I want free NBA because the Rockets ain't worth paying money for right now. So I want some free NBA. I want some free Houston games. Matter of fact, you should pay me to watch your game.
Pay me to watch your game. I want $200 every game. That's how much I want for just watching your trash ass team.
Hey, you know what I say, man? Hey, until Houston can get out of the elimination bracket and into the champion bracket, you better be paying me to watch this crap.
Good said it's a new Jay. Yes, it is.
He's taking the New Day slogan. I love it. Avery? Here.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Hey, let me ask you this, Chris, if you don't mind me and Logan. I'm unscripted. Frankie. Damn, man. They talking about flexing 2 Thursday night games on these teams. 2 Thursday night games. And everybody's pissed off about it. Everybody's pissed. What do y'all think about this 2 Thursday night games?
I don't see why people are pissed off about it. I get why fans can say, "Oh, the league don't care about the players or making them play on short." But if you're the players, you can't be pissed off about it because it's your guys' fault for not standing together with your union and saying no. They tell you you can wear number 0. You can wear number 0 on your jersey, and you're all excited about that. And you're like, "Yeah, we'll play 3 Thursday night games this season. We don't care." Like,
I don't think it's happening just yet. I feel like it was just thrown out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening
been approved yet.
Like,
yeah, nothing's been approved yet. The owner still had to get together and approve or deny it. And I think that they're going to deny it because nobody, even head coaches, they're going to hate that. Nobody wants to go in 2 short weeks to play. It ruins everything, especially your playoff chances.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Plus, I guess
I'm pretty sure that's official though with the Thursday night because.
No,
there was a lot of things that was on the agenda that didn't get voted on, Thursday night
No,
games, I believe, was voted on.
No, yeah, and I read about it. It wasn't official. It was thrown out there. That's what the league it was thrown out there that they should cut or add another two Thursday night games. Nothing has been official just yet. The owners, like I said, the owners still have to get together. I think it's at some point this week again, maybe on Friday or something, and approve it or deny it. And I think that they're going to deny it.
If you play on a Thursday, you won't play till the next Monday or something is how they're trying to do it. But the thing that's crazy to me is how they want to start flexing Thursday night games. How's that going to work? How are you going to just flex a game to Thursday in the middle of the season and not mess up the schedule?
I don't know how that works either. That's the weirdest thing I've seen.
They said that it's going to happen between week 12 to week 16 or week 13 to week 16, something like that. And they have to have a certain amount of time of a notice to do that.
Because they and the only reason they're doing that is like what AP's saying. They don't want to mess up that money from Amazon because last year all the Thursday night games were terrible, and right after Amazon paid all that money to get the Thursday night football games, so Amazon probably wasn't happy because might have been maybe one Thursday night game last year that was really any good.
Oh well.
So this is what I see. So it says right here, it says while NFL owners opted not to vote on a rule that would allow games to be flexed into Thursday night kickoff, they agreed Tuesday to modify the existing rule and allow teams to play a maximum of 2 short week games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand what they're saying. Are they saying that teams have the option to do that?
No. The rule was always you only played one Thursday night game a season. They they changed it to where all the teams or where you can play up to 2, but they haven't made the flexing the games official yet. That's still up for vote.
So how do they decide on who gets the 2 Thursday night games and how does that decide it?
It's probably going to be your better teams because what they're trying to do is get better games on Thursday night.
Yeah, because I got to be honest with you. Last time we've been having Monday and Thursday games, they've been boring. Honestly, the teams that they had chosen really were not good games for either one of those 2 times.
Oh, come on! Who don't like?
I don't mind watching football on a Thursday, but if I got football on a Thursday, I want to see some good football. Don't give me the generic ones. You know what I'm saying? Say the generic ones for Sunday.
Come on, you don't want to see the Indianapolis Colts versus Houston Texans?
Man, I will tell you right now, the only reason I would want to watch that game is simply if whoever the Houston Texans wind up taking as their quarterback, if he gets the start, I'd probably watch it just to see how he played. Other than that, no.
Jay, you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it so you can watch Lamar Jackson whip up on Houston. That's probably who's going to be the Colts quarterback.
Hey, listen. Hey, there's no doubt.
I don't think he's going there.
I'd be surprised. I think he's going to be at the Ravens this season. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? You know what I've heard though. Now I don't know if y'all have heard this. I've seen a couple. I don't know if I either read it on SI or Bleacher, but I was reading where they were saying some of the owners are saying that they don't want to give Lamar Jackson that fully guaranteed like he's asking because they feel like if they give him that without an agent, that everybody's going to be out there doing it without agents, and they would rather deal with agents than not have to deal with agents. So that's another reason why I think Lamar doesn't get that fully guaranteed on his own.
And it's true because
I think that has something to do with it, but also that.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I think that's part of it, but I also think they don't want to set that precedent that all these quarterbacks don't get guaranteed money. I think they don't want to follow what Cleveland done as part of it, but I do think that's part of it too, is him not having an agent. I really think him not having an agent is hurting him bad right now.
Right.
And now you got him trying to send tweets out to defend himself, and he really is kind of making himself look worse than he is making himself look better.
I always said, look, Lamar's, he's not a lawyer. A lot of these agents have lawyer experience. That's how they write all these contracts. They understand these contracts. They understand the loopholes of the contracts. And I think that Lamar, I understand he wants to probably keep the commission for himself, but sometimes keeping the commission for yourself can actually hurt you, right? I mean, it hurts you in a lot of different areas, right? Endorsements, things like that, navigating all that kind of language. I mean, I just think it hurts him more than it does help.
Where I think it really hurt him with this is when you're negotiating. If you have that agent, he hears the bad stuff that the team is, because the team's going to pick you apart to try not to give you all that money. He hears that stuff, and he's a buffer and can just kind of tell you what you need to know. You don't hear that, so don't get as personal. Well, when it's just you don't have an agent and the team's telling you why they don't want to pay you this and don't want to pay you that, then I think it's became personal, and I think
it absolutely yeah. And then that's what I thought was kind of interesting when Jim Harbaugh at the annual league's meeting was sitting down and he first found out about the tweet from Lamar, and he said, well, our relationship has never been damaged. Our relationship is good. It can't be good. It can't be good when you're not paying the guy what he wants to get paid. And like Chris, like you're saying, if you're telling him all the reasons of why, how does that not strain a relationship? I mean, that's almost impossible.
And then everybody was making a big deal about that he tweeted that he demanded or requested a trade on March 2nd. But here's what people's forgetting. Yeah, he requested a trade on March 2nd. They didn't put a franchise tag on him until March 7th. So that was 5 days later.
Right.
So they went ahead and put the non-exclusive franchise tag on him, knowing that he was wanting traded. So that tells me right there that Baltimore's not they're not in, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to try to work. They're hoping they can still work something out. They don't think anybody's going to make them a big offer on this non-exclusive franchise tag, and they're hoping they can get something worked out for next season. That's why I think he's going to still being a Raven this season.
Do you think that I guess if I understand what you're saying correctly, I kind of think I agree with it. Do you think that Baltimore is waiting to see if he will come down on his demand? If they waited out long enough, whether it be this franchise tag or another franchise tag, that they're just waiting to see if he'll break off that stance? Because, like you said, there's nobody else out there beating down the doors. The Patriots have already came out and said that they're not interested in trading for Lamar Jackson. And, of course, other teams have said the same thing. So do you think that maybe Baltimore's like, look, Lamar is telling you you're not worth what you think you're worth, so why are we going to give it to you? And if you want to test it, then test it, you know?
Yeah, that's
I think they're waiting them out.
I think that's why they put him on the non-exclusive tag, they wanted to try to prove to him, hey, look, the market isn't what you think it for you isn't what you think it is. There's not all these.
Me and Frank, we've had discussions about that.
To give you $250 million fully guaranteed.
And I think that's what it is. I honestly think it's all about the guarantee. It's not about the money. It's about the guarantee. Nobody wants to pay that kind of guarantee, especially with a guy that's missed games and hasn't completed the last 2 seasons, and then you want me to guarantee you? Come on, man.
AP says not knock on Lamar, but I'll pay Burrow the fully guaranteed contract.
I don't know if I'm giving Burrow the fully guaranteed, but I will say this. I think his overall skill sets are better than Lamar's. So if anybody was to be deserving of that, I do think Burrow would be deserving of that.
I think these owners are going to hold out as long as they can before they start giving out these fully guaranteed deals. I think they all believe that what Cleveland done was a bad deal, and they don't want to make that the normal.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing too. I mean, like, if the Colts go after Lamar, they'd have to give up 2 first-round picks. What do you think about that? Like, how do you feel about that? I mean, there's not really a whole lot in the way of, wide receiver ones or even offensive linemen that are going to come in there and drastically overhaul your line or improve your wide receiver core. Maybe D-Hop, he might be the only one really out there, I think, on the trade market that could do that for you. But I think if you tried to go for Lamar, that could wind up hurting you long-term wise. I don't know. How do you feel about it? You know your team better than I do.
I mean, I really don't think it hurts us long-term wise. The key to if you do get Lamar is can he stay healthy? That's to me that's the risk. Is he's only played 12 games the last 2 seasons. Can he stay healthy for a full season? Because if you look at the weapons, we need to fix the offensive line some. But if you look at the weapons at the wide receiver, the Colts have just as good receivers as he had last year in Baltimore. The only thing we don't have that tight end in Andrews.
I saw something that they were talking about. I saw something they were talking about at the meeting. There was a proposal that was put up there that they felt like the quarterbacks should be considered, like their cap space should be separatized from the overall team's cap, because they felt like the quarterbacks are consuming so much of the cap that it's unfair to the other positional players because of the money that they account for. And so there was a proposal up there to separate the quarterback's cap value, separatized from the overall hard cap money. Me personally, I think I like that idea, because they do account for so much that it does give your teams more flexibility, clearly, when you don't have to take that huge number and put that into your equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then how do they figure out the cap then? Because if the quarterbacks keep getting more money every year, that's going to make you, and then your rest, if it's two separate ones, that basically, why have a cap? Because your cap.
Think about it though. But think about it. Hey, Gonzo, you know what you do? You have two hard caps. You have a hard cap for the QB position, and you have a hard cap for the overall team. So you'd be working within two caps, right? Quarterbacks on one cap, everybody else under one hard cap, right? So that way you can put a hard cap on how much quarterbacks can be paid. That actually might help out the teams on a long haul, because then you're not looking at, look, we're already at damn near what? We already are at $50 million a year for quarterbacks. Who's to say it won't get, in the next 20 years, we're at $100 million, a year, for a quarterback. I'm just saying the way it's trending, right?
I don't see the players. I don't see quarterbacks agreeing to that. I don't know if you get the players on board with that. But the players' union isn't the strongest union either, so they don't stand together on a lot of stuff. But if I'm a quarterback, I'm gonna be like, no, that's bullshit. These other players aren't. There's not a cap on a certain amount of money these other players can make. Why is there a cap on what quarterbacks can make? See what I'm saying? Because right.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you got it counts as a cap hit, but a team can pay a player whatever they want, and then they got to stay under the cap with everybody else. But if you're saying there's two separate caps and there's like a limit that quarterbacks can make, quarterbacks aren't going to sign up for that. Like, well, why are we?
Well, in theory, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is if look, everybody knows the quarterback position is always going to be the highest paid.
Yeah.
That's why when you look at the damn franchise tag, they get the most on the franchise tag. If you don't understand that as a player, then I don't know what to tell you. You chose the wrong position to play. Everybody knows the quarterbacks get the most money. That's just the way it goes.
No, I understand that.
What I'm saying though is like there should be a hard cap on that position because they are the highest paid. So to keep it, you got to keep it under some sort of some sort of control. Otherwise, it's going to just keep blowing up out of proportion. Whereas I think running backs, wide receivers, they're never going to equivalate. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. Their compensation is never going to be that.
I understand what you're saying, but if I'm a player, why am I going to agree that I can only make this much a year when the NFL owners and league they're not agreeing that the NFL and the owners can only make so much a year. Their income keeps going up. Why should I agree to them paying?
Well, then why do we have a cap? If that's the case, though, then why do we have a cap? Period. At the end of the day, the cap does limit, how much these guys can make.
But it don't limit what a certain position can make. Reason there's a cap is to try to keep the league competitive, to keep where just the.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that.
Can try to get all the better players. It tries to keep it. That's why the cap is for.
I think having the quarterbacks not count against the cap, the main cap. At the end of it, they have their own cap, and then they're not the main cap. The reason why I think it is I think it allows the teams and the players more flexibility. I mean, think about it. Yeah. If you got a 200 and what's the cap at right now? Is it 281, 274, somewhere around there?
So I don't have a problem with that, Jay. I don't have a problem if you want to keep them off your cap hit to help teams out be able to fill their roster out. I don't have a problem with that, but I think if you go and start saying that quarterbacks, you can only make the limit is 60 million a year. Running backs, you can only make 30 million or 15 million a year. I think if you start doing it by position like that, I think you can run into. I just don't see players agreeing to that.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't know if that's really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I guess what I'm saying is, you put another cap on the quarterback, kind of how much they can get. Because, like I said, it's going so damn astronomical. But what I'm saying is, within that actual cap itself, if let's say a running back is part of that cap, a running back can make $100 million if that's what the team wants to give them. But they still should. But they got to work within that cap. Like the quarterback's got to work within their cap. The whole team has to work with their cap. But I understand your point of view too. Well, why does it just comes down to there is no equal pay. Okay, there's no equal pay. If there was equal pay, everybody would be making flat across the board, and that's how it would be. But that's not how it is. We don't know how it is. But I think at some level, economically, these quarterbacks can't keep going up as much as they're making and think that you can stay within this cap and like you have money to allocate towards other players. You know what I'm saying? Like if your cap is 254 and your quarterback is hogging up damn near, 35 to 40% of the cap, well then how much can you really give to the other guys if you keep them in the cap? But I understand what you're saying. Your argument, Gonzo, is that why are we putting a cap on what a quarterback can make? I'm only saying put a cap on what a quarterback can make so it doesn't inflate up to 80, 90 million, whatever the case may be. Or almost to a level where it keeps it on a level playing field with all the other teams. So in other words, if a Cowboy guy over there is paying if his cap is 60 million for a quarterback and their cap is 60 million, then I know I don't have to compete above 60 million against another team trying to come in there and swoop up my quarterback in free agency. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's just a control measure almost.
And what owners and managers can do is go to those quarterbacks and say, listen, we're getting low on the cap space. We know you got all this money. You continue to have more money throughout the years. That's where some quarterbacks are able to take pay cuts. Patrick Mahomes just took a pay cut so that the Kansas City Chiefs can have money on the cap. Tom Brady always used to take pay cuts. Even when he was with the Bucs, he took a pay cut just so that the Bucs can have salary cap for free agents and stuff like that. Some teams
to
actually
answer,
have quarterbacks
real quick,
that would
to
do
answer Anthony Price's question, though, the second highest paid position is linebacker. Linebacker make $20 million on the cap. Quarterbacks make $32 million. Of course, we're talking the non-exclusive. So the next highest paid would not be wide receivers or linemen. It would actually be linebackers. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frick. I apologize.
No, that's fine. All I'm just saying is, those quarterbacks that are taking all those money from the cap space, technically those owners and coaches will come to those quarterbacks and say, well, listen, we needed you to take a pay cut so we can add money into that cap space for free agency. Normally, quarterbacks would do that, but I don't know. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes did it. Tom Brady did it. I feel like Lamar Jackson won't do it.
Why? You know what, Frankie, the common denominator is it seems to me like all the great quarterbacks, they have that envisionment that they know that, okay, I can only take so much money from the team before we become non-competitive. And I do want a chance at a ring. So I'm going to balance my wages, so that the team can still so they can still bring in other guys to complement to get the ring. And I still make my money. And I also got my endorsement. So I think I agree with what you're saying. I think the top echelon quarterbacks, the ones that are making the Super Bowls, getting the ring, they understand that. And I think a lot of times the Lamar Jacksons of the world, they don't understand that if you want your team to be competitive, you got to give a little bit too, or restructure however you want to do it. It's just not take away your money. But come on, man. You can't ask for more than what the damn cap is. Or jeopardizing what the cap is. And by the way, what did you say, Jay, that will start drama with other players? Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. There's no drama in the league right now amongst other players. My bad.
He said Kyler Murray took all his money. Well, I mean, you breaking your own ankles, you better take all your money.
Hell yeah. Damn.
Nobody hit him. Nobody hit him, which was funny to me because it actually happened last year when the Cardinals played the Patriots, and I was all up on Jay Ness's DMs, and it was just funny. Like the man literally hurt himself, and yeah, he's gonna need all that money for that medical bill.
Didn't he wind up hurting himself? He tore it was a non-contact injury, right?
Yeah, it was a non-contact injury
Yeah.
when he slid on a quarterback
That's
run.
what it was. That's what it was. Damn. Yeah, you can't win when you're screwing your own self over. But they say if you're gonna fall on the floor, don't fall on the floor at your own house. Fall on the floor at somebody else's house.
Or do it at Walmart.
Fuck yeah. Oh, we got all the damn money. Why don't we ever do that?
That just like brought Chris back in time. He just brought it all. He's like, oh, Walmart. That happened to me. Poor Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you have those flashbacks.
Every time we talk about an injury, it's just like a mental moment for Chris. He's just like, damn, I've been through that too, but at a Walmart.
Hey, listen, when I used to work at a Walmart, I do slip and falls all the time, and I made sure the manager saw it, and she'd tell me, Jay, I know you're faking. Get up. I'd be like, man, I'm just trying to get paid. Why you gotta be a hater?
I wish it would have happened at Walmart. I wouldn't be broke.
Yeah, I'm suing.
Oh man.
Daniel Jones always followed me. He got his money.
Especially Walmart. They're billionaires. The owner, I believe the owner of Walmart is trying to. He bid in on the Commanders for $6 billion.
Oh Lord.
There's two bids on the Commanders for $6 billion.
There was two bids for $6 billion, and this guy Snyder doesn't want to take it. He's trying to deny him.
I don't know. Hey, look, if you offer me $6 billion, I'm good. Let's go. Where do I start the dotted line?
But that's the funny thing, Jay. The Commanders are not worth that much money.
No, they're not. That's the whole point. The whole point is you're getting paid more than what you're worth. Yeah, let's do it.
But he doesn't want it because he wants more. He's being greedy.
Yeah, he is being greedy.
He's over there thinking that the Commanders are probably worth $9 billion, $10 billion. No, that's not happening.
You're right. He is being greedy. There's no. Hey, look, you're turning down $6 billion. You haven't won a damn championship since the 80s. Come on.
He's trying.
It's not like your fan base. It's not like the Washington Commanders fan base is so massive that you could look. If it was the Cowboys, you can kind of get by with that because the Cowboys fan base and merchandise sales and marketing, can deem that.
Well, he's trying to stick it to the NFL. He's trying to stick it to the other owners.
And I could say the same thing to the pay. If you look at it in the NFL, the two highest paid franchises, it goes Dallas and New England. If those two teams are close to $9 billion to sell, there's no way in hell that somebody's gonna go that route.
Hey Frankie, I think the Commanders are around $3 to $4 billion. $3 to $4 billion. That's hey. Let me ask you guys: does anybody remember what Denver sold for? Was it $7 billion?
They sold for a record.
5?
No, they sold for a record 5 point something billion. That was
okay.
That was the new record for an NFL team. So he's at $6 billion would set the new record.
And this is a guy that's trying to get more money than the Broncos. The Broncos got 2 championships, more frequent championships.
I think one of the reasons is he's trying to stick it to the owners because he keeps saying he has stuff on the owners. I think he's making the owners.
I'm gonna call his bluff. I don't think he does. I think if he has stuff on the owners, don't you think we'd already know about it by now?
I think he does. I think that's why the owners haven't been trying to push him out or really pushing him real hard to sell like they.
Oh, so you think he does because of that? Oh.
I think if he didn't, that they'd already pushed him out.
That's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because if you don't have nothing on me, then you have no leverage.
They can vote him out. They keep talking about how bad they want him out of the league, but they won't vote him out. Why aren't they voting him out?
Okay, so if that's the case, then why are we even talking selling? I'd tell if I was Snot, hey, look, you want me to sell, but I'm not selling.
Well, I think that's why he keeps saying he wants more money. I don't think he wants to sell. I think he's trying to. I don't think he thinks they'll force him out because of whatever he has on the other owners.
I don't know what he's got on him, but it must be something pretty sweet because
for $6 billion. I mean, That's a lot more than why he paid for that. He even paid for the
I
Commanders.
wonder what he
paid
paid
a lot
for
of money.
that team. It could have been much. I mean, I say much, and what I mean by that is, in terms of other sales. I mean,
Oh no, let me see if I'll look and see if I can find it.
yes, please do that. Because I would love to know what he bought that team for. I guarantee it wasn't for a lot. I would say it would be. I bet he bought that team for under $1 billion.
Anthony Price says $8 million.
$8 million. For what
Bought the
team?
Commanders for $8 million.
But yeah, remember
That's
that was
crazy.
15, 20 years ago,
I'm
or
just saying, damn. And you don't want, and they're offering you $6 billion. Hell, yeah, I'd be out the door. I'd be like, you should $8 million to $6 billion. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money. Like, what is he trying to get then? If he's turning down $6 billion, what is he really trying to get? If that's the case.
no, it wasn't $8 million. It wasn't $8 million. He paid $800 million.
Okay, that's what I was saying. So he paid under $1 billion, $800 million.
And at that time that was the most. That was a record price for a United States franchise team.
Who? Jerry Jones buying the Cowboys?
They paid, Snyder paid $800 million, and getting offered $6 billion for it.
So you're making a $5.2 billion profit off of that. Wow. I mean, come on.
In 2022, Forbes estimated the Washington Commanders' value at $5.6 billion in 2022.
Bro, I just looked up the Patriots,
making them the sixth most valuable franchise in the NFL.
Robert Kraft. Oh, am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay. Robert Kraft bought the New England Patriots.
Did he die off? Frank, you there?
Here.
Yeah, what'd you say? You cut off like in the middle of it.
My bad. I said I was reading in it. Robert Kraft bought the New England Patriots in 1994 for $174 million, and right now it's valued at $6 billion plus.
Yeah, so, Robert Kraft got that money too, man. Hey, do me a favor. Hey, because you're looking up franchise, I would just love to know what Dallas has paid, what Jerry paid for the Cowboys.
All right, hold on.
I bet you, I guarantee, I don't think it was $1 billion. So because Snyder set the record at he said $880 million, he must have bought the Cowboys for probably half of that.
In 1989, Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys for $140 million.
Wow! Oh my God! Wow! Damn!
And it says that's when the franchise was losing $1 million a month.
Man, I wonder if he was to sell the Cowboys, what do y'all think he could get for it?
$9 billion.
I was gonna say 9 to 10 billion.
Yeah, it said it before because
off of $175 million investment.
140.
Or my bad, $140 million investment. That's just insanity.
Well, that's what happens when you that's what happens when you buy a franchise. You end up winning. They not just one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 Super Bowls, all in a decade. Kind of like the Patriots. Literally, the Cowboys won of 4 championships in the 90s alone, or 3. So when you build your franchise like that, you become more valuable. And then he went out and built an entire new stadium for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's true. He did.
Also built a brand new. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it's an amazing practice facility that Jay likes to call the ranch for the Dallas Cowboys as well. That also enters in the sell for if somebody wanted to buy the Cowboys. So just Jerry Jones doing all that alone, winning championships, building a freaking stadium, building a nice facility for practice and stuff like that. That's got to equal up to $9 billion.
Oh, I would imagine easily. But a lot of that though, I really believe a lot of the Cowboys' worth is just in their marketing, the way they marketed the team, the way everything is played. I think it's just the marketing. The marketing of the Cowboys has been phenomenal for a long time, and I think that's really is what's created a lot of that worth. But
yeah, it's only because of the little Giants.
No, honestly, I just think Jerry is a great businessman. He really is. Jerry is a good businessman. He knows how to manage money, knows how to market, knows how to do all that. He's great at that. Terrible as a GM, horrible GM, but great as a businessman. Great. I just wish it was the other way around. I wish he was a fantastic GM and a horrible businessman. But it is what it is.
Most valuable NFL franchises: Dallas Cowboys. That's old. Never mind. That's old.
Oh no, it's still relevant though.
No, not it. I mean, it's relevant, but not the money because they were saying they're only worth four.
I'm just playing.
This was last year in 2022. Top 5 most valuable teams in NFL: Dallas Cowboys at $8 billion, New England Patriots $6.4 billion, Los Angeles Rams $6.2 billion, New York Giants $6 billion. That's the top 4.
And it's based because of the new stadiums. Honestly, the new stadiums that they all built. The New England
that makes a lot of sense.
The New England Patriots they played in like 4 or 5 different stadiums before actually building Gillette. So like you continue your franchises and building amazing stadiums and having that market value from fans, not only buying tickets but also buying merchandise and stuff like that. That raise your price value for your franchise.
Yes, it does.
And the Patriots, they're not rebuilding a stadium, but they're adding more into Gillette Stadium. Like this year, this offseason, by next year, when you go and see Gillette Stadium, there's going to be a huge light tower and right next to Gillette Stadium where you can actually go in there and view the stadium from high up top. It's going to be really high. You can see the entire stadium. You can see the downtown city of Boston and everything like that. It's going to be amazing. So like Robert Kraft still adding more into that stadium is going to bring the value for Foxborough even more up.
That makes sense.
Welcome back, Pride.
Here.
Just talking about value and how much the Patriots cost and the Cowboys because somebody said, what was it, $6 billion? Yeah, Schneider turned out $6 billion. 2 offers $6 billion for the franchise when they're not even worth that much. He should have took it.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, let's also be honest. He doesn't really want to sell the team.
That's what Chris was saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't really want to sell, so he's gonna have some astronomical number. He's probably gonna want like 10, 11 billion.
I told you. I said the same thing. I'm like, he's probably looking for double digits.
Yes, he's looking for at least double digits. So that way, because if it ends up happening, he gets his way 2 ways. Either A, he gets paid a stupid amount of money so that he doesn't have to worry about money ever again, or B, the number's so high, no one's going to want to come to the table. And if he's saying his minimum for the sake of for this argument, which I genuinely believe this is what he's doing, I think he's going to saying, I'm not taking anything under 10. I genuinely believe that's what's going on. And I think it's more, I don't think it's really him wanting 10. I think it's just him having some stupid ballpark number out there. So that way, no one will be like, all right, come on, we're not even going to waste our time with that. And then he won't have to sell. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really have to take selling seriously until the NFL comes out. Kind of like what the NBA did with Donald Sterling. Where they were like, yeah, you got no choice whatsoever. We put this to a vote, and it's, you're done. You're out of here. Until that happens, which I don't think is going to happen because Snyder and, Goodell are like butt buddies. But I just think he's just throwing out some wild number, and he's just going to keep turning it down until he gets exactly what he wants. Because in his mind, he's like, I don't want to sell, but if I have to, I'm just going to do it for some wild number that makes me never have to worry about money ever again. So, I mean, like no one, like I'm gonna see what happens if someone throws 8 at him. Because I think eventually someone's gonna throw 8. And when they
Listen,
throw 8,
I'll throw
Go ahead.
$5. I'll throw $5 into that investment just so I can get a little ownership.
I feel bad too, because like, listen, if
Washington's not worth
the-
that much for me. They're not even worth $10 for me.
that's wild. But respectfully now, like that's actually where I was about to head. If he can get, let's say for the sake of argument, let's say 7, right? Say he gets 7 for that franchise, bro. That just moved, and that sucks.
If he
Whoever
gets
buys
$7
that
billion,
franchise is fleeced.
if he gets $7 billion for the Commanders, I swear to God, the Broncos owner, the Broncos former owner, should literally look at himself and call himself stupid.
Dog. Granted, I don't think he'll get it. I think he'll probably fall on the line. If I had to take a legitimate guess, if it comes to a vote and they force him out, it'll probably be like 2.5, 3.
I hope it comes to a vote and they go to force him out, because I want to hear all this dirt he's been talking about. He has on all these other owners. I want to see what kind of war gets started.
He don't got no dirt on Robert Kraft because that dirt already been spilled.
No, he probably got more.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I honestly do believe, like, a lot of the stuff that I do believe a lot of the stuff that he has is very detrimental to a bunch of owners, which is, I think, is another reason why not only him being buddy with Roger Goodell, but I think the fact that, like,
I think that's why they haven't voted him out.
Right. Like, I think the reason why Roger Goodell hasn't put up a vote was because he likes him. But at the same time, let's say for the sake of argument, Roger Goodell goes, "All right, look, I have to because my hands are tied, whatever." I think even if there's a vote, I don't think the owners vote to get him out. I really don't. Dan Snyder, as much as say what you want, the man put himself in a situation where he's chilling. He doesn't care. He's really chilling because he can basically do what he wants. And if anyone, unless someone all of a sudden goes, "Oh, I don't care what happens to me either," he's in a situation where he's got total control.
Yep.
Which is wild. It's crazy.
Is it like, I mean, yeah, because he don't want to sell a team, but the worst thing that can happen is if he does sell a team, he's going to make $7-8 billion. So
Exactly. So I, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm just curious. Like I said, I don't think he ever sells. I don't think he ever gets forced out. There's been no indication that that's coming at all. The only indication we got is Snyder basically saying, "Oh, if y'all want me out, understand I'm bringing all y'all with me." Because remember, that's when all this stuff really started heating up. All this started heating up. Then Snyder was like, "Oh, I'll tear this league down."
yeah, I'm taking everybody with me.
And when he said that, all of a sudden,
Everything got quiet.
It got real quiet. It's like it's almost as if everyone just gave up.
Kind of sound like the Deshaun Watson civil lawsuit case.
Right. They got what they want, and all of a sudden, they get invited to the game to watch the man who assaulted them play, and then they wanted to get autographs from him and spend time with him. That's neither here nor there. Let me shut my mouth before Pride gets called a misogynist. My bad. But it's crazy. Snyder said, "Yo, I'll bring us all down." Then all of a sudden, no one wanted to talk anymore, which leads me to believe the man wasn't lying. At least in that specific statement that he said. Everything else, I don't know about all that, Chief. But when he said, "I'll bring everybody else down with me," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out." In that specific in that statement, I don't think he's lying. I don't think he is, because the dude really, like, he said that everyone got quiet. No one's talking about it anymore. Now it's to the point that, like, lately there's been a couple numbers been thrown up to buy the franchise, the Commanders. Even when that comes up, no one really talks about the accusations and the workplace environment and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Think about it. Like AP said, they did an investigation on the Washington Commanders, and then they fired John Gruden from the Raiders. They
right, like
investigation.
Exactly. So it's this weird thing where it's like Now they're kind of like stopping. And remember, this was around this time was when this supposed expose was supposed to come out, where supposedly Snyder had some of the cheerleaders go into the locker room, and then some of them had to stay back and get new. Like, remember, all that stuff was supposed to come out. There was supposed to be an op-ed about that. And it's almost as if Dan Snyder was like, I bet. Come on. Bring it out, and I will list you every person who was in there. Conversation wasn't fun anymore. It just stopped. So, I don't know, man. Like,
is Anthony Price over here in this comment right here? Is he talking about Gruden?
Yeah.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Snyder that did that.
No.
The Washington Commanders investigation.
Yeah, it came out the investigation. When they were going through those emails, that's what got John Gruden fired.
Wow.
Which, I mean,
Those
I already
emails
know
will
my
get
thoughts
you
on
every
him, so-
time.
I already know my thoughts on John Gruden anyway, so I don't even think that's a big deal, to be honest. Man's a bum. Disrespectfully.
Hey, I'm just
care.
saying. Those emails will get you every time.
Yeah.
No
It was
matter
just
how
not-
far back they go.
That's another reason that makes me think Snyder does have things on the owners, because you're doing an investigation on his team, and then nothing really came out about his team. It was all about other people.
Everyone
got
else.
fired.
Yeah, like that's kind of what made me really look at this whole situation. Like, what in the world? Like, you're doing an investigation on him, and a team that's across the country is suffering the ramifications. Like, that's wild to me.
That is wild.
That's life. That's life. Man, Deshaun should have went to the Commanders, man. Oh man, bro, the jokes would have write themselves. The jokes would freaking write themselves, bro.
Oh man, I know, as a Patriot fan, and I know probably is like on the opposite side of me, but I'm really waiting and counting the days for DeAndre Hopkins to come over.
Is he coming, Frankie?
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping.
I don't know about all that, man. I don't want.
There's been a lot of talks before, during right when the freaking free agency started. Before the free agency started, we were the number one team that was trying to get him. Nothing happened because they were asking for too much of a higher price, and the Cardinals knew that they were asking for too high. Literally, not just from us though. The Bills were in on it. Everybody was in on it. The Bills, the Giants, everyone. And they were just asking for too much. Now that they know that they can't get it, they allowed DeAndre Hopkins to go out and seek a trade himself, talking to teams himself. I feel like that's more, a stronger chance for the Patriots to go and acquire DeAndre Hopkins, because Bill Belichick will probably sit down with him and be like, "Listen, this is what I want to send them to get you." And DeAndre Hopkins, he has a relationship with Bill Belichick. We know the relationship he has with Bill O'Brien. It's not good, or it is good, whatever. It doesn't matter. But when you come and you play for the Patriots, you're not playing. I mean, you're playing for Bill O'Brien, his offense, but truly you're playing for Bill Belichick. And if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm gonna sit down DeAndre Hopkins and be like, "Listen, I want you to bring your matters straight to me. Bring what you got to say to me," because they have a strong relationship. We've seen it last year when they were talking on the field, and it was even on Hard Knocks where they were mic'd up, and we heard the conversation and stuff like that between DeAndre Hopkins and Bill Belichick. And they have a really strong connection. I feel like that's what's going to get DeAndre Hopkins to New England. But I understand why Pride doesn't want him to come. I understand his injuries and stuff like that. It will be really worth. No, they're not asking AP. They're not asking for a first rounder. What they're asking for is a second rounder and a replacement for DeAndre Hopkins. So when the Patriots came and with an offer, it literally came. What ruined DeAndre Hopkins was the Cowboys getting Brandon Cooks for a 5th and 6th round pick.
Yeah,
That's what
that
ruined
really hurt his value. That market really hurt him.
No, I don't even think that mattered.
And
I
that's
didn't even think it mattered.
Because right after, it kind of mattered a little bit, Pride, because right after the Patriots were trying to do the same thing. They were telling the Cardinals, "We'll send you a 5th and 6th rounder for DeAndre Hopkins." They didn't want that. They wanted a second rounder and a potential. I'm not going to say potential replacement. I'm gonna say the straight up name. They wanted a second rounder and they wanted Devontae Parker. Me, I was like, the hell with this. Send DeAndre Parker. I don't give a damn. Send
I don't know
Devontae
about-
Parker.
But
But now looking at it, if we still have
Uh-huh.
Devontae Parker on our lineup, think about it. We'll have Devontae Parker, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike
We're
Gesicki.
We're
That's an amazing, like we're literally right in the hunt right there for the AFC East. So I
don't know
mean,
about that.
come on, Pride, stop that.
Nah, bro. No. Listen, this is nothing. First of all, I've said this before. If you gotta depend on Juju Smith-Schuster, bro, you're cooked. You're cooked.
I don't
Let's just
depend
keep
on
it
I don't depend on him, which is the
in
reason
our
why
offense.
I
In
threw
our
him number
offense,
3.
bro. In our offense, we have to depend on him heavily. We're cooked.
Right now, we do.
Hey, okay, so we're cooked, bro. If he's right now, he's probably our number 1 receiver.
Hell
We're
no.
fried. We're burnt.
Why is everybody always overlooking Devontae Parker?
Because we didn't use Devontae Parker like that, bro. Devontae Parker was smaller Jonnu Smith. We barely used him like that, bro. And we used him inconsistently.
We didn't use him like that much last year, but what was the reason? And Jay can agree with me on this. We didn't have an actual offensive coordinator calling the plays.
Matter.
Matt Patricia don't know what he was doing. Bill
It
O'Brien
doesn't matter.
now being there, Bill O'Brien knows, like, you played against Devontae Parker. You should know how he is.
No, it doesn't matter because if Devontae Parker really was that dude, it doesn't matter who your coordinator is. You would have featured him more.
From a game calling perspective, from a developmental perspective for your QB. I mean, there's a lot of things that the coordinator does that affects that team. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, having 2 defensive guys or special team guys, they all different backgrounds, it seems like. Trying to do an offensive coordinator's job is crazy to me. That really didn't help them out, and I think Bill O'Brien will get that team back on track.
I get why you want D-Hop, though. It's not going to work, bro. It's just not. I don't feel comfortable putting my faith in a guy who can't stay healthy.
Oh,
I understand that point. I understand that point of view.
Be honest, bro,
especially for the money he's going to command.
I understand his health level, but let's look at it.
That's all.
The man,
and don't get it, he's a stud. He could play. I'm not trying to act like he can't play and all, but availability is the best ability. If my man's going to spend 6-7 games out, I'm not liking that trade-off. That's detrimental to us, if anything. Because if I got to rock with 7 games as Juju's my number 1, we might as well pack it up and look on to next year, respectfully.
Yeah.
I mean, the man missed 6 games last year, and he still put up amazing numbers. I'm just saying. I mean, even if he was injured and he was out for 5 games, when he comes back after those 5 games being injured, he's going to put up outstanding numbers for you. As long as he can help us get into the playoffs and stuff, I'm okay with it.
So let me ask you a question then. So he put up the great numbers, right? Where did Arizona go?
Yeah, but come on, bro.
And one of the biggest reasons was that D-Hop wasn't there. That was one offensively. One of the biggest reasons was because D-Hop wasn't there. Do you disagree with me there?
No, I agree with you on some parts, but then again, did the Cardinals have a good defense? And I'm not going to just say, don't just blame it on, put it on the defense as well. But did the Cardinals really have a good defense compared to the Patriots? The Patriots had a shitty offense last year, but we had a great defense. So even
but here's my rebuttal to that. If you put a healthy D-Hop there, they're contending for the division.
Yeah.
Keep that same defense. Keep that same exact defense. If D-Hop is help, matter of fact, I'm not even going to do this. Let's say D-Hop misses 2 games, just 2. We have a completely different conversation. A completely different conversation we're having. The talent is there. I'm not taking nothing away from D-Hop. But it's to the point now where the man is getting hurt. It's like the same thing with Lamar. Are you confident putting your faith in a guy that's going to miss games?
Well, I'm certainly not confident in giving him a fully guaranteed contract when he hasn't finished the last 2 seasons. I mean, yeah.
So
I think D-Hop, D-Hop did really good out there with Houston. I mean, that's where he made his name, right? Houston. And he had, so-so quarterbacks up until the point where he got traded. Then he got traded to Kyler Murray. And he didn't really fruition in Arizona like he did in Houston. But I think if you put him with the right guy, like a Bill O'Brien-led offense, I think could do good things. I didn't like him as a GM or a head coach, but I think he's a great offensive coordinator. Mac Jones seems to he seems like a good quarterback. I think developmentally under Bill O'Brien, especially since he came from Bill O'Brien at Alabama, those two could work magic and could resurrect D-Hop's career. But to Pride's point, the best ability is availability. So, that is still in the back of your mind. Do you want to give the contract with his injury prowess? And maybe that's some stipulations you got to put in the contract. But I do think D-Hop could do good stuff out there at New England if certain parameters are met about his availability. That's really the only thing.
That's the only concern I have. I'm just very fearful to roll the dice on him. I would rather go get Adam Thielen because he's a free agent. We don't have to give up anything. And
True.
where Adam Thielen is right now, we can give him a cheap deal where if he gets hurt, it's not really that detrimental to us because we didn't give anything up and it's a cheap deal. And we're looking at him as a transition guy. We're only looking at him to keep him for probably 2 years. Probably 2. Just to give Mac Jones another weapon for him to develop. That's it.
I'll be real with you. I really did. At the time, I really did wanted Adam Thielen. But then again, the Carolina Panthers went and scooped him up quickly and on a 1-year deal, which is right with Pride. You could have got him on a cheap deal. And I don't know why the Patriots wasn't doing it.
And that's the thing about the Panthers too. They don't do deep passes. So, for what? And if you put him at the slot, he getting all those short passes. I mean, he'd be perfect in that position.
The only reason why Adam Thielen didn't end up in New England, and Pride can agree with me on this, Adam Thielen doesn't have a good connection with Bill Belichick. We've seen their on-the-field battles together, talking trash and everything like that. We've seen them two get heated. And I feel like that's the only reason why Bill Belichick, he didn't put his ego aside to say, listen, let's go get Adam Thielen. No, he looked at it and said, I'm not getting this guy. He just talked too much trash, and I don't feel like I have a good connection with him. I'm not going to get him. That was the biggest mistake in my thought. I feel like we should have really got him instead of Juju.
I don't think it was that, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think it was a situation where I think he looked at it. He looked at Adam Thielen, was like, okay, I can probably get a younger Adam Thielen than Juju. That's honestly probably what he was thinking. Now, I disagree with that. Because, again, my thoughts and feelings on Juju is known. Okay? He's our number one. We're fucked. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But Bill Belichick is always the guy who's looking to either A, change somebody, like give someone a new lease on life, or B, wants to be the guy that finds that hidden gem. And he can do that in Juju. If Bill Belichick can somehow make Juju a legitimate number one, not a number one because you have nobody else, but a legitimate, true number one, and because now you're unlocking something in him, and being able to utilize him in a different way than everybody else, I think that's why he really got Juju. If I had to guess. I don't think it's any heat between him and Adam Thielen. I just think for him, he's like, he probably thinks Juju fits the offense better. I don't know. Another thing, too, it could be a possibility that Bill Belichick didn't get Juju. It's a legitimate possibility that he sat down with Bill O'Brien and was like, bro, I'm going to let you pick one person from the offense that you want me to go acquire. You pick who you want. Who do you think will fit this offense? I'll go get that one person. We will implement that person into the offense and go from there. Because I don't know what it is with Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien, but Bill Belichick has a weird, it's almost like an Eric Mangini type of soft spot he has for him. Because I don't know if you remember, back then, Eric Mangini was his son. That was his son, bro. Right before he went to the Jets, I can't remember what game it was, but he gave Eric Mangini a big hug on the sideline, and that's what everyone wanted to hire him. For some reason, Bill O'Brien's the same way with him. He's got this weird love for him where he will always give him opportunities to prove himself, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't be surprised if Juju to New England, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a Bill Belichick or a Bill O'Brien suggestion, and Bill Belichick was like, all right, I'll do you this one favor.
Was that he did say that, because I remember hearing something that Bill O'Brien was actually in the room with Bill Belichick looking at the offense and how they can upgrade everything like that.
So it could be a possibility where, he threw out.
Hey, let me ask you this. Hey, what is the Patriots cap room right now? What cap do you have available?
Well, I think let me look at it again, but last time I saw it was like 14 mil.
And I wonder, just out of curiosity, I'm just wondering if y'all were to go after D-Hop, what would his cap number be? Like, would he be able to fit in that 14 mil, or would he be above that?
No, he'd be above that.
So that even if y'all were to try to go after D-Hop, you'd have to maneuver or restructure contracts to bring him in. Is that right, or is that wrong?
Nah, probably got to get rid of somebody.
So it almost makes sense then not to go after D-Hop based on Pride's observation of the availability issue, and then also with your cap issue. I think that might not be the best move. I think you're probably good with what you got, and I think you're fine with what you have.
Unless he takes a pay cut.
Well, that's right. Unless I don't know if Bill would ever do that. You guys know better than me. But would he just draft if he needed another wide receiver? If he just needed that, could you just get it in the draft when you draft?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, when it comes to that, Bill Belichick, he's a wizard when it comes to that stuff. I mean, Julian Edelman. No one expected Julian Edelman to turn out the way he did. Right? Yeah, sure. Wes Welker was solid before we traded for him, but when he came to us, we made Wes Welker even better. Like right. Let's be honest. Like, and same thing with Danny Amendola. That's another dude that no one really looked at him like that. Comes to New England, all of a sudden the Lions are throwing a blank check for him to play over there. So it's like when it comes to wide receivers, Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. The thing is, unless he has his heart set on someone, whether it be in the trade market or free agent, unless he's got his heart set on someone, I would prefer him go to the draft.
10.7.
10.7? I think we're like what, top 5?
Yeah. 10.7 mil is what we got left.
So, yeah, I mean, unless D-Hop takes a gross pay cut, I'm talking between 8 and 10 a year. Like 2-3 years,
or if a trade does work out, hopefully Bill Belichick can work some magic and do exactly what Houston did with Brendan Cooks. Houston is paying majority of the rest of his contract, and the Cowboys are paying just little because they sent 2 draft picks. So the Cowboys only have to spend like a couple $1 million for Brendan compared to Houston having to basically play half of his salary. I'm hoping that Bill Belichick can work some type of magic like that. Like we could trade them some picks, but also have Arizona pay most of that salary, and we give him a little bit as well.
I mean, Arizona will probably do that. But if Arizona's going to pay for it, they're going to want like a second and a third, maybe even a first. If they're going to pay for something, they're going to want to get a good haul in. They're definitely going to want to get a good haul in. Whether or not they get it, I don't know, but they're going to want to get they're going to want to get something good in return for D-Hop. But it's just the market for D-Hop right now is just not great. It's really not. It's really not. I'm you know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
And I think if the market was hot, he's been on the trade market for a hot minute. If it was hot, he'd already been gone by now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the Brandon Cooks trade did nothing. I don't get why people are saying, "Oh my God, this ruled," because they've been trying to trade D-Hop for a minute now.
Right.
They've been trying to move on from D-Hop for a while now, and
if you look at it,
because of the price.
It's because of this price. Really look at it. Who would you rather have, D-Hop or Brandon Cooks?
Right now?
And be realistic, yeah.
Right now. You're talking right now?
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks.
Okay, well, Houston looked at it as, or the Cowboys looked at it as, well, Brandon Cooks is old. He's getting older. He's not making huge names, like he's not making huge plays like he used to. Maybe we can get him on something cheap.
Yes,
and Bill
he was.
Belichick is looking. Well, yeah, he was. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm saying that's what the Cowboys looked at it as. And Houston, being dumb as Houston is, they just said, "The hell with it. Let's get some draft picks because we're looking into the future." So I mean. Arizona, on the other hand, Arizona's not looking at it like that. The Arizona's kind of like, well, D-Hop's still that guy. Bill Belichick's trying to make it seem as is like, well, okay, well, this guy's going up in age. He's 31 years old. The guy's like basically, like as Price said earlier, he's injury prone. You never know if he's going to be hurt or if he's going to be healed or healthy. So that's what Bill Belichick's trying to do. And he's trying to do the same thing for Brandon Cooks. He's looking at Brandon Cooks and he's been like, well, maybe I could do that with D-Hop because they're kind of like the same in age and health wise.
I don't know. For me, I would take Brandon Cooks right now because he's healthier and a little more consistent right now than D-Hop.
I'm gonna be real with you. Honestly, if Brandon Cooks was still out there and Houston, and I knew Houston was willing to trade him, I would have went out and got Brandon Cooks as well. This is a man who's been on the Patriots before. He knows the Patriots system. He knows their playbooks and stuff like that. He played with Bill O'Brien before Bill O'Brien traded him away to New England, and he also played with Bill Belichick. So you're going back to the system that basically you already ran with. And don't forget, prior, he went to the Super Bowl with us, and he didn't even get a chance to finish. The man literally Odell Beckham Jr. himself in our Super Bowl. The man was like a couple plays into the first quarter, and then he gets hurt, and he's done for the rest of the game. He literally Odell Beckham Jr. himself.
Which was whack because that was like honestly that was helmet to helmet. The fact that there was no flag baffles me.
Yes,
but to each their own. I ain't gonna say nothing about that because it is what it is. But I mean, and my whole thing with the whole D-Hop thing, I'm not if I have to give something up to get him, I'm not. Now, if he spent, let's say, the last 2 years healthy, then we have a complete different conversation. We have a complete different conversation because I know he was suspended, and then he had gotten hurt and all that. So that's just my only fear. It's just the availability, because if my guy's not available, like I said, 5 games, I'm gonna be worried to be like, all right, let me hitch my wagon to you. Because we got to remember, this is an older D-Hop. This ain't the D-Hop that before would get hit in the head and get up and move on to the next play. Unfortunately, this ain't that same D-Hop.
I was over here thinking about freaking what's his name? Who was the guy that got on the field, that Tennessee Titan player? He got tackled and then they started going at it. Who was it? It was Andre something. Andre Johnson.
Oh my God! Oh my!
You remember?
It was a play before. It was a play before Andre Johnson was lined across from Cortland Finnegan, and they got into it, and like no one did anything about it. So the next play, the same thing happens again, and like Cortland Finnegan was really trying to he ripped off his helmet, and like Andre Johnson gave him a 2-piece, and I was like, what? And then a lineman came and brought him away. Cortland Finnegan is clapping. I'm like, fam, you lost. You're clapping for the wrong guy now. Like you're not in the audience, bro.
Bro, you just got knocked, bro.
Bro, my man was back.
Literally.
But
Andre Johnson literally knocked him out. The only reason he got back out was because Andre Johnson was still holding him. If he would have let him go when he hit him, I swear to God, he would have been sleeping on the field.
That joint had me hysterical. But I'm about to hop off. I gotta bring these kids to fucking whatever shit I gotta bring them to. So I'll talk to you later.
I just love how you love them babies. Man, Pride loves busting them kids, boy. Hey, they're great and all, man. But look, I got mad respect for anybody who could drive a bus with a bunch of kids or be a teacher with a bunch of kids. Hey, it takes an incredible amount of patience that I do not have. Frankie, man. Hey, let's get some final thoughts and get up on out of here, man. What you got going on, baby, outside of anything else?
I'm getting ready for tonight. We get some redemption against the Chicago Bulls for my LA Lakers.
Yes.
Both the Pelicans and the Thunders lost last night, so hopefully we can win tonight and get us back into the 8th spot, because right now we're in the 9th spot. So hopefully we can get back into the 8th spot tonight and get some momentum back on our side. Other than that, I got nothing more. I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for tomorrow, because as soon as I wake up tomorrow morning around 7, what time do I normally wake up? Around 7:45 in the morning. I get my daughter ready. I get her on the bus around 8:26. And by the time she's on the bus, I'm going to come back in the house and I'm putting my Aaron Judge New York Yankee jersey on. And it's go time, baby. It is go time.
That's right, because you guys got, you're so lucky, dude. You got that early 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I got the 1 o'clock game as I usually do. So I had to get ready early. And Frankie the Yankee is actually, he's actually here. So he's sleeping right now because he's been doing a lot of searching up and stuff like that. He just told me a little while ago the Yankees actually did sign a player from Baltimore. He will be in the not rotation, because when I say rotation that means like pitching and stuff. But he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow for the Yankees. He's an outfielder and a first baseman, but I expect him to be on the outfield tomorrow because we don't have a true left fielder. So I expect him to be on the outfield. And I searched him up. And the guy's pretty good, so I can't wait to see how he plays tomorrow.
I think when it comes to your team, I really want to see this guy Volk. Everybody's hyping him up that he's going to just be a perennial stud, which he probably will be. I want to see him, man.
Volpe, baby. Anthony Volpe.
I'm looking to see this guy play tomorrow, man. I'm going to be watching him. I want to see what he's got because he is taking over for IKF. I know how much you love IKF and Gleyber Torres, but
Gleyber Torres, I love. IKF, I can't stand IKF, but I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, I'm excited for Anthony Volpe, man. I'm so excited. Honestly, I love this kid. This is the kid that I loved in our farm system with Stratton and everything like that. This man was putting up phenomenal numbers in spring training. He was about a 0.314 J with about I think it was like 5 home runs. It was amazing. The kid was absolutely amazing, and he, being 21 and basically being like looking at as the next Aaron Judge, phenomenal. I cannot wait to see this kid play. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah. Anthony Volpe, baby. He's taking the old school Brett Gardner's number. He's taking number 11 away from Brett Gardner.
Oh, so, nice. So do we possibly see a Volpe versus Pena, comparisons in there?
I want to say maybe Pena's a little bit better just because he's been in a better, kind of like a better system with the Astros and stuff, and plus he has that experience in the major leagues yet. Now this is Anthony Volpe's first year in the major league. I'm hoping that he continues his run. I don't want this to get to his head that he's a 21-year-old in one of the big franchises in baseball in the Yankees. I don't want him to get that to his head. I want you to go out there and play the way you've been playing, kid. You've been doing phenomenal, and I feel like you can do more. And I just can't, I'm really excited to see what this guy got. And I can't wait to see him play, man. This man, he was our number 1 prospect in our farm. And he was I think, number 4 prospect overall in all of minor leagues. So that's got a lot to say for him.
Right. I found it interesting. I kind of laughed a little bit when the way Boone called Volpe into the office to, talk to him, and Volpe. The way it looked like he was going to cut Volpe, but then he kind of at the end of it he gave him the contract, and of course the kid was all excited, but he definitely put a lot of drama into letting them know that he was a New York Yankee.
Yeah, that's what Aaron Boone likes to do. He does that to a lot. He did that to Oswaldo Cabrera last year. And where he brought him into his office, and he makes it seem like you did good.
Like you're about to get the act.
Like you're not that you're about to get the act, but the way he talks to him is like, we're not gonna call you up yet. We're gonna send you back down. But instead, he just comes on. He just be like, and that's what we're looking for. And I just want to congratulate you because you're being called up. You're gonna be on the roster. You're part of the 26-man team. It was phenomenal, man. I was super happy.
It was, man, and I didn't realize how. Volpe is a small kid. I didn't think how small. But when Boone went up to him, he looked like a dang high schooler.
Yeah, he's really young. He's only 21 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of like, that's why I said it kind of reminds me of a Derek Jeter moment. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and beat Derek Jeter. There's never going to be another Derek Jeter in a New York Yankee uniform. But just him alone, for one, he was a Derek Jeter fan. He's got pictures of when he met Derek Jeter back in the day. And having Derek Jeter actually come out and say he's actually proud of this kid and he can't wait to see him play. Not very much people can last long as shortstop for the Yankees.
Absolutely.
He went out and said he can be the next franchise shortstop for this team, and that puts a lot on your shoulders. I feel like he's gonna carry that. I just can't wait. I just cannot wait.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting though that
Jay, when you say his name, you say it with respect, all right? It's not Volpe. All right, it's Volpe, baby. It's Volpe.
Hey, listen, he gets the respect. Nah, I respect everybody's last name. Volpe. Okay, I thought it was Volpe, but I'll tell you this. Jeter came in. He was 20 when he signed on with the Yankees and took over the spot. And this kid's coming in about a year older, so he's the second youngest player in Yankees history to take on the uniform, and that's amazing. That's not an easy.
As a shortstop, as a shortstop, but overall, he's actually the fifth youngest Yankee member to join the roster, just right behind Derek Jeter. So there's a lot of comparison, man. This kid is just phenomenal, man. This kid worked his ass off to get to where he's at. And me being a Yankee fan, I know our system very well. I've been watching this guy just like I've been watching Oswaldo Cabrera or Oswald Peraza. I've been watching all these guys, and these guys are literally they're the franchise. They're the future of this franchise. They really are.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I can't wait to. Like I said, I'm looking forward to watching them tomorrow play because my team doesn't play until we got the midnight game or 7:00 game actually against the White Sox. So we'll be playing right at when Unscripted comes on. That's when we'll be playing. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of this. And I got to be honest with you, man. Hopefully. I gotta be honest, man. When Payne came into the league, man, when he got those MVPs in the World Series on his rookie deal, I don't know how much better you can get than that. And I think the way you're looking at Volpe, he might be that same caliber kind of guy. And I guess we're gonna have to see how his career progresses once tomorrow hits, and he gets his first shot at the rotation. So kudos to him for making the team.
You can already say, Jay, the Yankees are going 1-0 tomorrow. We got Garrett Cole on the mound. We got a good rotation. DJ LeMahieu's back. I'm hoping Aaron Hicks isn't in the lineup.
Man. Hey,
good crew going.
The biggest thing is LeMahieu has to stay healthy. He can't go down on an injury again. He's got to stay healthy and because he plays first base, correct? So
he plays first base. He plays second base. He could play third base.
But I think is his primary first base though.
His primary is second.
His primary is second. Okay. For some reason, in my mind, I had LeMahieu as a first baseman. Okay.
That's because
primary is a first baseman.
That's because you're used to seeing him on first base when Anthony Rizzo's out. And normally, when Anthony Rizzo's out, we got DJ LeMahieu on first base.
Okay. Well, then that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Like Frankie said, man, hey, tomorrow is the official first day of baseball. I know he's excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. I'm pretty sure we'll be talking all kinds of bad stuff during the game. It's going to be a lot of fun to hang out with them and see that. Don't forget, we'll be here tomorrow at 1:00 on the afternoon show. Again, we'll be broadcasting at the same time the Yankees is on, so that'll be crazy. I'm sure all of us will be watching it in the background. But yeah, so we got baseball starting up again. XFL is going on. Lots of things are going on. NFL draft is right about a month away. So lots and lots of things are going to be coming up in the calendar. Make sure you check us out again tomorrow for the afternoon blitz at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time, and then check us out tomorrow at 7 p.m. For Unscripted. And as always, man, Pride, Frankie. I think Rob Scott was on at one point. Mike Hughes, Gonzo, obviously your host, and then your boy Jay McLevin. We say everybody, thank you so much for joining the show. And man, we will catch you tomorrow, and you'll have a good night.
Let's go Yankees!
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.